It was actually for a class project. We were supposed to make a collage, and I saw in all of the magazines all of these ladies were naked pretty much or in bras, and it was all about how to look thinner and stuff. And so I tried to make my piece pop with like all of the crazy advertisement and detrimental things that women are thrown at in social media and just mainstream these days. And this is the end result of it. So they're all censored with uncensored words. As a fine arts major, I feel like if you're not doing all of it, then you're not really an artist. So I try and go as broad as I can and get as detailed as I can.
My inspiration for the image was a heart. It is based off of a heart, hence the title Sweetheart. So I just made a digital rendition of that. I've experimented with ceramics and sculpture, clay, now metals, also wood, so I've kind of done a little bit of everything.
This is the student-run gallery. You know, this is for students, run by students. I had the opportunity of conceptualizing the curatorial concept for October. And I figured, okay, if this is student-run gallery, then I want a bunch of student work. You know, let's see how much we can get, but what are we going to get? You know, that was like the issue. The show is called Paper, Form, and Design, and it does definitely unify all of our majors. Our illustration, we have a lot of digital and analog work. We have books made with paper.
Here is my work. I started doing these, and we had a project that we had to do about Helen Keller, and I made these, and then I made a big kind of tactile ink blot test in relation to these. So these were like the pre-sketches to like not a sculpture, but kind of more sculptural work that I started doing. So I'm highly inspired by just different textile designers. Heather Ugier, she teaches here. She's one of my really big inspirations. These are ink blots, so I was just playing around with color and just the whole ink blot thing. So
I started photographing when I was 11. Came to school here, and I've been photographing and doing video work, as well as a little bit of animation. These are just some friends that I threw in the studio. This is kind of the jumping off point of a further project that I'm working on. I'm starting to explore space and relationships to people's facial features and body and gesture in a photograph. Everyone's a photographer now, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that it's great that everyone's a photographer. iPhones have made that possible, and so it's really great to express the entire world, and if you can express other ideas for yourself, more advanced, that's great.
These were actually studies for a larger piece that I wanted to do, and I wanted to focus on the emotionality that people have with their hands. I feel like if you're on a bus or something, you see someone's, snapping their fingers, they're tapping their thumbs together. There's always something that conveys their emotional presence. So I thought, what better model to have than myself, because I could manipulate my fingers, I could do any number of things with them. And I chose to do different colors just to try to express a different type of energy and emotion. Everything for me, I think, comes back to process and emotionality and how those two come together and how they relate. So for painting, it's all about the physical movement, the actual artist's hand being on the canvas or on the wood. And then I also like printmaking too, so it's about the process of doing layers and layering ink and everything therein.
Well, this was Kalisha's project, honestly. We work on a committee through student government called Student Run Gallery, which is where we are right now. And we all have shows, and we all work together to help. But Kalisha really did the footwork for all of this, and was kind of like a magnet for grabbing these from studios all over more.
Student government wanted to really show what the students do here. And having our closing reception on the same night of Open Studio, more Open Studios, same night is great, because you not only get to go into the students' studios and see their work, but you get to come into the Student Run Gallery.
Get to see a compilation.
Exactly, and see exactly how diverse all of our students are within one medium, paper.
I got an assignment to work with a consumables product, and I instantly thought of colorful Post-it notes. So I started working with that, and it's more about the process though, and you can build this anywhere. But the process is important, but the end product is always exciting. Like when you finally get to see what you're making, what all that effort becomes. It's fun and the process is exciting, but it's also laborious. So I like that it's bright and fun, but you see the marks of the process of how long it took and how hard it was.
Right now I'm doing a lot of sewing and embroidery. I do a lot of collage and construction, a lot of cutting out. I do love watercolors, so that's a big focus of mine as well. I always have this attachment to like little things, as you can tell, like my paintings are really small. I just love like little intricate, very detail-oriented things, so I think that as I always found an interest in those, it's starting to come out a lot in my work.
This is my grandfather on my dad's side. I had a very, very wonderful relationship with my grandfather. He was the sweetest guy you would ever want to meet. Late at night, he would slice me like a nice piece of pumpkin pie, and he would always give me the biggest slice, and we would drink milk and we'd talk about anything. A few years ago, he was diagnosed with dementia, and over the years, I hadn't had time to see him as much as I would have liked to. And when I finally had the chance to see him, he didn't remember who I was, and I would show him pictures of me, and he was trying so hard to picture this grown woman. He's like, I'm trying to find this grown woman and this little girl that I've known so well, and he didn't remember me, and he didn't know, and so I drew this picture of him because as I realized that he didn't remember who I was, I didn't really have a good sense of who he was. I didn't really know much about him, actually. I didn't know that he was in the Navy. I was looking at some old pictures and I saw it, and then I was like, oh my God, he was in the Navy. And then from there, I was like, I want to draw this and just capture him in this way, because the way he is now was not how I want to picture him. I always pictured him very young and agile and a hero, because that's what he was to me.
I just started asking the students to please give me their work for the Student Run Gallery, and they let me pull, they let me choose what I wanted. Some of them submitted. Yeah, it was a lot of trust.
And I think this is unlike any other show we've had, because it's like the way you wanted to hang it was salon style.
Right,
so it was like
style.
this is like usually a walking space where people just walk, to classrooms or whatever. So it's kind of like an interesting space to have to work with, and I think this was successful.
Why do I like more? It's a very empowering place. It's not what I expected, but that's what makes it better experience.
I love more because it's such a tight-knit community, and you really get an individualized education.
Because it's in the middle of so much great art, and we get to go to all of the amazing museums here and stuff, and the teachers are fantastic. I looked into all of them.
I love all the people. They're very, it's a very diverse community, and it's really easy, and it's great to be in an art community where you can bounce ideas off of each other.
I like the fact that I can talk to photographers, or that I can talk to sculptors, and then they can help me hone in on like my portraits and things like that. I love the community that was built around Moore.
I love Moore College because we have very small classes with all women, and it's really nice to get valuable feedback from each of them. Honest feedback.
That's all, folks.